At 3:48, I had the message from Environment Canada that a tornado was striking. 5 minutes later, I had a person call me from town who had my cell phone number and said the downtown's been wiped out. Our emergency coordinator was aware of the storm and took some action ahead of that, basically. And so she emailed us, and we contacted each other and agreed, along with the treasurer, that we should declare this an emergency. I would say within 20 minutes we had people arriving at the emergency control center at the town hall, only to find out that there was a gas leak there. That's the reason we relocated it to the Knights of Columbus, because we had arranged years ago to put auxiliary power here. So we ended up having the control group here, also the Red Cross, and we're helping out those that need help.
I heard this really loud noise, like a train or something.
Wow.
And then I opened the door coming into the garage to close the garage door. And there was a tree in our garage, and the wind was so powerful that I couldn't hardly reach the button to turn that works the garage door.
Right.
So therefore, but the hydro was off by then too. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I looked out and half of this tree was gone. There was stuff flying like you wouldn't believe. We had a big tree over there. It was up against that house. And I just can't explain how it was. It was like a nightmare. And I called my husband. He was in another part of the house, and he didn't just hear me right off. So I thought the other end of our house went, really. And this big gentleman walked up the street, and it was my son who lives on the next street over. He was covered with blood right from here down, and he's one of the ones that lost his house. The poor guy just kind of turned and went home. I said, "What happened to your house?" He said, "Well, the roof is off, Mom." When I finally got over to see his house, I thought, well, we were lucky here, with just the roof going off and a few the eave troughs and things in the window and the siding on the far end and so on. We were lucky compared to a lot of people.
Earlier, I was speaking with the mayor and the administrator, and they have gone for a helicopter ride over town to assess the damage. And they were saying, Dan, it's heart-wrenching. Nobody has seen this coming.
It's, I guess what we describe it as a war zone. I think the only thing I can relate to is when you look on the TV and see those bomb blasts in Afghanistan. That's the feeling that I had. I know it's hard to say that, but it just just when you're on the square looking around, it's just a war zone.
What you're witnessing right now is the remnant of what was Sifto salt mine. You could see the devastation from here. There is a silo there that is missing the caps. Salt is exposed to elements now, and devastation in the first degree. I recall being inside of those offices not that long ago. Thank God there is no more fatalities than the one we have had right here at Sifto. A gentleman was on his job, earning what he could for his family when tornado claimed his life. And our hearts go to the family and those that have endured the loss of life. And I know these employees and the company will not take that lightly. A little overwhelming for me to describe to you what I'm watching, what I'm seeing. A jewel in this community that will rebuild.
Dan, as I said before, it could have been worse. We had a flea market on the square 2 hours earlier, and it could have been quite a disaster because I believe there was a couple of hundred people up there at that flea market. Beautiful day in Goderich. The tourists were here, and we're pretty fortunate that there wasn't more life that got lost.
This place has been transformed. My family here, my grandchildren, our son-in-law and all this. This was a disaster here, but look how they've cleaned it up, eh? Mm-hmm. Look how they've cleaned it up. It's just wonderful. The people are so good.
This is an ongoing story in Goderich, and it's a heart-wrenching, heartbreaking story. But people are huddling to each other's aid, and they're being good and kind to one another. And this is the time when the kindness and the goodness builds community back to what it was. In fact, it'll be better than ever. Watch Goderich. The recovery is in sight. This kind of devastation that I do believe is going to pull the community together like nothing else can.
We're seeing that happen. We're seeing neighbors helping neighbors as we've taken our tours around there, and that's the sign of resilience and public spirit. And the fact is that the jewel has been scarred, and I'm quite confident that we can replace it. It'll take some time. It'll take some help. The help has been offered. I mean, every municipality around us, from Windsor to London to Owen Sound, plus the people from AMO have shown, support. And when you have support like that, a visit from the Premier, you know that people are behind you, and what we have to do can be done. It will be hard work, and there'll be some tough decisions, but I believe that with this council and the administration that we have, we will do it.
Premier was here and has allocated a $5 million to prime the start and begin recovery of this town.
There will be an arm's length financial committee that's mandated to raise funds. It's also mandated because if somebody's property is covered 100% by insurance, obviously there's no other process required. If somebody isn't, then they can make an application to this organization or representatives of the town. Arm's length on an application basis to acquire funding over and above what any insurance will pay. Going to be tough decisions for that committee because they're going to have to weigh the pros and cons, etc. So that's all coming down the road, and we're putting that in place as we speak.
One of the things that Judy Crawford, she's a counselor, but she's also the CEO at the Chamber. And so the committee has given her permission to use the Memorial Arena, and she's going to set up a business center there. And so it'll offer some support to businesses that want to carry on. At least we can have them a desk and maybe a chair and telephone. And I think, as you know, in business, communications is everything. So even though they're stopped dead because they can't get in their properties, I think a lot of them, that might be a benefit to have that up and running. And we give credit to the Chamber for doing that. We're moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes,
thank you. I do believe as people gather and this trial that has come upon Goderich, people will endure. Goderich, wish you Godspeed, all of you, and a speedy recovery from this.